October 11th, I think, and I'm on my way to Moab, Utah, and nothing really too special about that, other than the fact that I'm taking the back way from Vernal, Utah, through the book cliffs, down to I-70, and then making my way back to the Moab area. What's special about that route is the fact that there's no real highway through the book cliffs. I'm on pavement right now, and this pavement goes all the way to the Uinta County, Grand County border, and then the rest of the route from Grand County down to I-70 isn't paved, so it's can be a little rough and rugged in certain places. I've made this trip once from Moab back up to Vernal through the book cliffs, and I took the route through East Canyon. Today I'm taking the route through Hay Canyon, which is to the west, this time around. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm thinking it might be actually a little bit better. These aren't just like Jeep trail roads. There are ranchers that use these roads to get back and forth from I-70 to, there's a few ranches in the South Book Cliffs, or there might just be one or two. And I've spoke with one of them before who kind of maintained a base in Grand Junction, but he would go up through those routes to get to the ranch in the Book Cliffs. So mileage-wise, it's actually a shorter trip, not by much, but to get from Vernal to Moab, going through the Book Cliffs. But since it's not paved, it should actually take longer time-wise. Now, there's been talks for probably decades about paving a route all the way through from Uinta County to I-70, and Uinta County went ahead and paved their end of it, called Seabridge Road. I think it was finished in 2014, and they've tried to convince Grand County to get on board with that. Grand County has refused thus far because they believe that Uinta County just pretty much wants to do that to benefit oil and gas companies that are exploring in the Book Cliffs, which is probably the main reason. Although Uinta County is trying to frame the debate as a route that would benefit tourists that are traveling, kind of doing the national parks from Yellowstone, Grand Teton, maybe Glacier, heading down to Moab, and then maybe even Grand Canyon or whatnot. It would be kind of more of a straight shot, because right now you come from the north down 191, you hit Vernal, then you have two options. You can head into Colorado and go over Douglas Pass, which will spit you out on I-70 close to just west of Grand Junction, or when you hit Vernal, you could head east to Duchesne and then head south through Indian Canyon, which will take you out to Price, and then probably another hour drive to I-70 from there. So this would be a more direct route. It probably would shave maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of half hour to 45 minutes off that trip from Vernal to Moab, which right now I think takes about 3 hours and 45 minutes, maybe 3.5 if you're driving kind of fast. And here we're passing through the town of Ouray. It's not really much of a town, but kind of a small group of homes on the Ute Reservation. And passing over the Green River. Leaves on the trees are looking pretty awesome right now. A really cool thing about this drive down Seabridge Road is that it's really remote. So Ouray is basically the last community between here and I-70, I guess. There are some facilities for oil exploration, oil sales. in the mountains because we've been battling forest fires for quite a while now, probably almost 2 months, if not more. And it's just been really smoky and smoggy here in the basin for quite a while. So hopefully that helped with the fires. But it's also kind of windy today, so that could hurt. And it's about 57 degrees around 11 a.m. here in Vernal. I think it's going to be a little bit warmer down in Moab for sure, and hopefully bright and sunny. So we're getting pretty close to the county line here, and you can see we're up in elevation, a lot more trees up here, and we have a storm that we're driving through, so it could make things interesting. So like I said, once this pavement runs out, it's just dirt and gravel and rock, so hopefully the roads aren't too bad, but we're going to be going over that way, and it looks like there's still quite a bit of storm clouds, so hopefully there's nothing worse than what we're going through now, just light rain, but we'll find out soon. Alright, so we are on, I think this is Winter Ridge Road, I want to say, but this kind of goes east to west along the top of the Book Cliffs, and this is taking us to Hay Canyon. We're heading west right now. Temperature dropped to about 36 degrees, and kind of looked like there was a little snow mixed with rain for a minute, but hopefully we don't run into any snow. So far the road is pretty good, this dirt road. It's a maintained dirt road, so it hasn't been mushy at all. And we have about 7 miles to the junction with Hay Canyon, so like I said, we're heading westward, and it looks like we have some clear skies ahead, so hopefully we'll be out of the storm pretty soon. The rain's starting to let up, but we'll keep you guys posted. Now we can actually see what we're driving into, and looking west here, just a crystal clear view of Book Cliffs, and to the south on our left, still some storm clouds, but you can actually see the ridges of the Book Cliffs. We're going to be driving down in a little bit, and back behind us, where we just came out of the fog, you can actually see the area around Moab and the LaSalle Mountains if it wasn't so cloudy and foggy. So that's one of the really cool things about driving down here in the Book Cliffs is you have a huge view around you in all directions. You can see the Uintas back north. You can see into Colorado. You see the southern parts of the Book Cliffs and southern Utah south of I-70. We are on the road to Hay Canyon, or through Hay Canyon right now, just turned off, and things are still looking clear here. Road isn't bad, and GPS is saying 8.5 miles to somewhere. I don't know if that's to the bottom of this canyon or what, but we'll keep you guys posted. Made it down to the bottom of the canyon, or at least pretty close, and it's a pretty cool road. Definitely wouldn't want to drive on it in bad weather. It's pretty narrow. There's some exposure on it. It's wide enough for 2 cars to pass, one going up and down, and there's a lot of kind of pull-offs. But if it was slick, it would definitely make things kind of dangerous going down there right now. So got a little stream crossing right here. And this road thus far there isn't technical at all. There's a couple sandy spots, bumpy, rocky. I wouldn't recommend it in any kind of passenger car, that's for sure. But a truck, small SUV even. You could probably do it in a Subaru. I think the most important thing though would be having good tires, at least an all-terrain tire that could resist, you know, maybe some rock punctures. If you're just on a highway tire, that'd probably be the biggest concern, and the sandy spots. But other than that, it's not a technical road or trail at all. Nothing too serious. There's been a couple other ones too. I'd imagine though during the summer or late spring, especially if it's rained recently, those could be a little bit more treacherous. One rancher that I talked to down in the Book Cliffs claims that his truck got swept away because he had parked it in a wash, and it rained and there was a flash flood, and the only thing he could find of his truck was his bumper. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's definitely possible. So it's one thing you want to keep in mind if you're coming down this road. We're back on pavement now. We're still north of I-70. I'm not sure how much longer till we get to the highway, but right now I have Cisco, Utah plugged into my GPS and saying about 29 minutes, 25 miles. So far from Vernal, we've been on the road about 115 miles in a little over 2.5 hours. Cisco is usually about 45 minutes from Moab, and if the 30 minutes on the GPS to Cisco is accurate, that's another hour 15, which would put us at about 3 hours 45 minutes total trip, which is about what it takes to get to Moab normally for me. So not much of a difference in time between the two routes. I like this one better. It's more scenic. You don't have to deal with traffic or anything like that. You're just through desolate country. And that kind of makes me think that if they were to pave a route all the way through the Book Cliffs to get to Moab, it probably would shave about an hour off. So, I mean, that'd be pretty good. That'd be nice for sure. At the same time, there's something special about the Book Cliffs and being able to drive through such a remote area. I've been a lot of places, and the Book Cliffs is still one of the most remote areas I've ever driven through, even though it's becoming more and more developed every year with mineral extraction. So a lot of people think that magic of the Book Cliffs, of it being such a remote place, is already ruined, so they're of the opinion that you might as well just go ahead and pave the highway through. I think there's still some magic left in the Book Cliffs, which pulls me to the other side of not wanting them to pave a highway all the way through. It's got its pluses and minuses, as everything does, but it would be kind of a shame to have a lot more traffic coming through the Book Cliffs. So that's my thoughts on it. Undecided. Anyways, probably another 20 minutes or so till we hit the highway, and I'll get back to you guys when we hit Moab and let you know what the final results are. We are here in downtown Moab, as you can see, and it took us just around 4 hours, so maybe 10-15 minutes longer than normal when sticking to strictly pavement over Douglas Pass or through Indian Canyon. And final mileage looks like around 185 or so. So overall, not bad. I would definitely recommend making that trip if you're going in between Uintah County and Grand County, Vernal to Moab, or whatever. If you have the right vehicle, like a pickup truck or SUV, and I wouldn't recommend it with any kind of passenger vehicle outside of maybe a Subaru, and assuming you have decent tires, at least all-terrain, or if not mud tires, because the route, while it's not technical, there are some washes, there are some sandy spots, and it's pretty rocky through the book cliffs. So I wouldn't trust highway tires at all on some of those rocky portions. You wouldn't want to gas yourself down there, because there's no services, there's nothing down there. Getting a tow out of there would be really tricky and probably really expensive. So assuming the weather is good also, I wouldn't do it in any kind of rain or snow. I wasn't planning on driving through that storm this morning, but luckily the roads were pretty good once they turned to dirt. They're kind of maintained roads, so no ruts or anything. But I'm gonna go and enjoy this week in Moab, and I hope this was helpful to anyone that was curious about that route. You can also do East Canyon. They're pretty similar as far as what the roads are like. So again, hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.